Greetings everyone, it's Jeremy Sutton here from PrecisionPrinciple.com on day 11 of the intensive Ashtanga Yoga training. Today we are back on it. It's Monday again, so we had our Ashtanga Yoga in the morning. Every day we begin at about 5:50 with a Pranayama practice. And Pranayama, if you'll recall, is breathing. And in the yogic tradition, there are a number of practices, different styles of breathing that we can use to sort of alter our state of mind. We can use it to bring up our energy. We can use breathing to bring down our energy. In the morning, we tend to do more practices that sort of bring us up in energy. And this sort of sets the stage for us to move into the asana, the physical practices that come later. Now, there are many different styles and practices for breathing, and some of them shouldn't be practiced without supervision. So today I would like to talk about a couple of basics of the breathing that we can all use regardless of if we're in yoga or if we're not in yoga, and that we can use to sort of direct our awareness, to bring ourselves back into the present moment, and to sort of direct our attention the way we want to be. So, first off, breathing, there are three parts of our breath, all right? And I'm not sure if you can see this here, but first off, the first thing you can do is to put your hand on your belly, because there's belly breathing, where your belly goes in and out. There's chest breathing. And I forget, I think clavicle breathing is the last one. The point is, a full yogic breath will be one that starts by filling in the belly, comes up to the chest, and even engages the clavicle region of the upper throat area to fill in the whole lungs from the bottom to the middle and all the way to the top. Now, in Ashtanga Yoga, the most proper breath for the practice is called Ujjayi breathing. And Ujjayi breathing happens through the nose. And it's basically a combination of that belly breathing, chest breathing, clavicle breathing, a full yogic breath that's coming through the nose. And also, it's a type of breathing where there's going to be a sort of a hissing sound, like a So the air is a little bit restricted just at the back of between the mouth and the nose. So that makes a slight hissing sound. If you want to practice this on your own, it looks kind of funny, but you can go almost a Darth Vader style breath. But for the practice, it should be coming through your nose. Now, this sort of deep breathing has immense benefits throughout life. In fact, I think it's Andrew Weil from the Integral Medicine, maybe Arizona State. He has a short audiobook I mentioned before called Breathing, the Master Key to Health. And it's a very short book. In the audiobook is only maybe 2 hours, including the breathing practices, and it begins with an explanation of why breathing is the master key to health, and it ends with the practices that we can put to use to improve our health. And a lot of the information that he uses actually comes from the yogic tradition, because while Dr. Weil is a Harvard-trained medical doctor, he has also spent some significant time studying Eastern philosophies and traditions, yoga, meditation, and other topics, and has sort of merged the two together. And so that's why he's known as an integral doctor. He's integrating both kind of this Western medicine and Eastern take on well-being into a total practice for health and well-being. And so, both Dr. Weil and the yogic tradition make a very strong point about breathing. And one point is this: breathing is possibly the only activity that we can do unconsciously, that is, even when we're in the deepest sleep, when we can say our consciousness is as low as possible, our body keeps breathing us, so to speak, right? So we can do it without any awareness, without any consciousness at all. And also, breathing can be done with 100% awareness. That is, we can do it right now. And when we breathe consciously, we can't help but bring our awareness back to the present moment. So the breath is a key point that can bring us back to the present whenever we need to be, which is most of the time. If we can be present more often, we're probably going to be more effective human beings, more capable at whatever we're doing, learn more quickly, be calmer, and a number of other things, because deep conscious breathing engages the parasympathetic nervous system. Now, for those of us who haven't been to anatomy class or medical class for a while, we have two nervous systems. Basically, the sympathetic nervous system is the one that amps us up, and the parasympathetic is the one that calms us down. So when we engage in conscious deep breathing, or ujjayi breathing in the yoga practice, what happens is we kind of kick up that parasympathetic nervous system, which puts us in a more relaxed state. So in yoga, it's argued that when we consciously control our breathing, we can, through the breath, influence our subconscious or unconscious processes, right? So in more Western medical terms, we might say, through conscious breathing, we engage the parasympathetic nervous system, and that calms us down. So the point is that we can use breathing as a nexus between our conscious mind and our unconscious or subconscious mind. We can control our subconscious mind or influence it, direct it up or down, by consciously being aware of the breath. Because Andrew Weil, again, Dr. Andrew Weil, will argue that when we are angry, we naturally start to breathe in short, erratic breathing, like not necessarily full, not necessarily conscious, not necessarily a very helpful way to breathe. So a healthier way to breathe is going to be mindfully, deeply, slowly, and I think that's the basis, the majority of it. So slowly, which means going to be in through the nose, deeply, with consciousness, and steadily, with a regular rhythm. When our sympathetic nervous system, our fight or flight reflex kicks up, then we breathe irregularly, quickly, and so that is kind of showing how that short breath is a reflection of our subconscious state, of our emotional state, of what Daniel Goleman might call when we're emotionally hijacked, we have this erratic breathing. So to get control of that hijacking, let's say we're emotionally hijacked by our anger and we're breathing short and quick, we might engage our conscious mindfulness to lengthen the breathing, to make that breathing slower and more regular, and in doing this, we are going to have an influence on that sympathetic nervous system. We're going to calm that one down, engage the parasympathetic. The parasympathetic is what kind of calms us down, and thus we're going to have a healthier, a better state of equilibrium, a better state of well-being, and also actually probably reduce the actual percent of cortisol that's being secreted in our body. So that is a major practice. It's just basically breathing consciously, and we can do this anytime. And the more often we do it, the more it will benefit our health. So breathing is also the key entry point into the game. And if you don't know what the game is, then it's about time you found out. Head over to precisionprinciple.com, check out the game. If yours hasn't started, then you're in for a treat. It can actually transform your life. I'm not joking. See for yourself. Prove me wrong. In the meantime, it's time for me to get back to class, back to work, and I'm excited to do so. So we'll keep this one pretty short today. So in the meantime, keep learning, keep growing, and have a great day.